Donald Duck's Secret, the power law that wins silently. The blue coat sailor enigma, Donald's hidden strategy. Have you ever considered that the greatest masters of power and manipulation aren't hidden in dusty history books, but tucked away in childhood cartoons? I've spent nights digging through the most secret archives of pop culture, and what I discovered about Donald Duck, the sailor in the blue coat, will forever change how you see him. At first glance, he seems like a walking disaster, a magnet for misfortune. But what if his apparent bad luck is actually a smokescreen, a masterstroke of strategy to disarm opponents and hide his true intentions? I'm talking about Law 3, Conceal Your Intentions. Most people think this law is about lying, but that's a huge mistake. The art of hiding your plans isn't about dishonesty. It's about the highest form of power. It's about being both the chessboard and the player. It's about becoming a riddle that no one can solve. And no one does it better than our beloved Donald Duck. The world sees him as unlucky, broke, and constantly on the edge of a meltdown. And that is exactly where his brilliance lies. While Scrooge McDuck, Gladstone Gander, and the rest of Duckburg are busy laughing at his misadventures, Donald operates in the shadows, moving pieces in a control game where no one even sees him as a player. Think about it. How many of Donald's seemingly chaotic plans end up working, catching everyone by surprise? His overt lack of self-control, his temper tantrums and outbursts, actually serve as the perfect distraction. They are the bait that Law 3 describes. No one would suspect such a hysterical loser, and that's why he ultimately gets what he wants, whether it's treasure or a win in a contest. His apparent lack of intelligence is his greatest intelligence. He has become the master of the game, where his most powerful weapon is the unpredictability of a madman. The lesson here for anyone seeking power and high performance is profound. Your transparency, your need to share your plans, ambitions, and weaknesses, is your greatest vulnerability. When you reveal your plans, you give your opponents the ammunition to sabotage you. Have you ever thought about that? How often has your honesty become your biggest weakness? Your first practical action is this. For 1 week, choose a small but meaningful goal in your life. It could be something at work or a personal project. Instead of telling everyone, work on it quietly. Let your actions speak for you. At the end of the week, observe the result. Feel the power that discretion gives you. If the idea that your apparent weakness could be your greatest strategy intrigues you, leave a comment telling me what the word luck makes you think of. And if you're ready to uncover the secrets behind success, give this video a like and subscribe to join our expedition. Chaos as a smokescreen. Mastering the art of distraction. But how exactly does our eccentric, seemingly uncontrollable duck become a master of Law 3? The secret, my friends, isn't just in his bad luck, but in his skillful use of distraction. The chaos Donald creates isn't an accident. It's a smokescreen. Think about what Donald does when frustrated. He yells, jumps, flails. His enemies, Scrooge McDuck or his nephews, are so busy trying to figure out the reason for his fury or laughing at his new misadventure that they forget he has a real intention behind the spectacle. His apparent lack of self-control becomes his greatest asset for keeping others focused on the irrelevant. This is a tactic that great masters of power have used for centuries. There's a historical anecdote about the Byzantine general Belisarius. During one African campaign, he faced fierce resistance. Instead of attacking head-on, he ordered his soldiers to light fires in unexpected locations and play instruments chaotically at night. Confused by the noise and lack of direct attack, the enemy became disorganized, and Belisarius struck at full force the next morning. Chaos, distraction, and unpredictability were his weapons. And this is the same strategy our blue-coat sailor employs in his misadventures. He becomes the noise, the fire, the distraction, while his true objectives move in the shadows. Here's the emotional twist I want you to understand. In a world where everyone screams for attention, true power lies in being the mystery no one can solve. Most people fall into the trap of getting caught up in drama, their own and others, and while you react to the spectacle, you lose control of the game. Donald teaches us that to achieve high performance and resilience, you need to learn to create chaos and step away from it at the same time. You need to be the observer of your own drama, not the main actor. Your second practical action is this. The next time you face a chaotic situation or drama where people are desperately seeking attention, don't get involved. Instead of reacting, observe. Watch what people do, what they say, and, most importantly, what the real intention behind the noise is. What do they want? What is the true motivation behind the spectacle? Simply observing and not reacting already gives you immense power and self-control that most people don't even know they have. The art of concealing your intentions isn't just a tactic. It's a life philosophy that gives you a secret edge in any situation. But what if I told you that Donald's greatest distraction isn't his anger, but something far subtler? The armor of the harmless. How being underestimated gives power. We've uncovered Donald Duck's chaos as a smokescreen, distraction tactic. But what if his greatest weapon isn't the chaos itself, but his own image? The image of a loser, of a duck unlucky in love, work, and adventures. Law 3 teaches us that to conceal your intentions, it's often more effective to wear a mask of harmlessness than a mask of threat. When you act as if you have nothing to lose, no one sees you as a threat. No one expects a strategic move from a failure. And that's where you win the game. Donald, in his brilliance, understood this perfectly. He became the embodiment of a loser, a character who inspires pity and condescending laughter. His opponents, like Gladstone, Gander, the Lucky Duck, or even his nephews, constantly underestimate him. They see him as a force of nature that cannot be controlled, but lacks the mental discipline to be a true competitor. And that perception gives him the greatest advantage. While everyone is busy underestimating Donald, he is free to make his moves, follow his intentions, and ultimately claim victory. His apparent lack of high performance is, in reality, his highest performance. Donald's resilience isn't in shouting, but in enduring humiliation to achieve a goal. This tactic has been used by some of history's greatest masters. There's an anecdote about Sun Tzu, the Chinese strategist. He taught that the best way to defeat an enemy is to make them underestimate you. He encouraged generals to appear weak when strong, disorganized when cohesive. This strategy of manipulating perception is one of the most powerful forms of control. And Donald, with his clumsy ways and chronic bad luck, instinctively uses it. The world sees a blue-coated duck, but in truth, he is a power warrior, using others' disdain as his armor. Here's the emotional insight I want you to grasp. In a world that values flash and noise, true power lies in being the opposite. In being quiet, humble, and underestimated. When you don't seek credit, when you don't need others' validation, you become uncontrollable. You free yourself from the need to prove strength and use that freedom to become truly strong. Donald teaches us that true fortitude isn't about how loudly you shout, but how well you endure silence. Your third practical action is this. In a low-risk situation, whether at work or a personal project, do something well without seeking credit. Let the results speak for themselves and allow others to underestimate you. Feel the sense of power that discretion brings. Feel the freedom that comes from not needing anyone's approval. This is the second layer of protection Donald teaches us. But what if his greatest weapon isn't what he does, but what he never says? Strategic silence, stoicism, and the battle for your time. The Stoics' final battle, how to win the war against your own time. In previous sections, we unearthed the wisdom to confront anger and pain. Now, we reach the most crucial point of Seneca's philosophy, his revolutionary perspective on time. Most people live as if time were an infinite river, a never-ending resource. They spend it on distractions, trivial obligations, and the relentless pursuit of things that don't matter. Seneca, in his treatise on the shortness of life, delivers a brutal truth. We don't have little time. We waste a lot of it. This is the Stoics' final battle, the war against our own time, the one thing we cannot recover. Seneca, our archaeologist of success, shows that time is our most valuable treasure, and how we manage it is the ultimate test of self-discipline and control. He uses the analogy of a man who, if he had a little gold, would guard it carefully, but when given time, spends it recklessly as if it were worthless. Think about how you feel when losing money. And now, how you feel when hours are wasted on trivialities. The difference in your reaction proves you haven't grasped the true value of your time. High performance isn't doing more, but doing what matters, investing your time in actions that move you toward your goals and personal growth. This is the profound emotional insight Stoicism offers about life and death. Seneca tells us that many of us die busy, but few die living. He invites us to master the present, to live each day as if it were our only one. Inner fortitude isn't measured by a long life, but by a life well lived. Your ability to manage time, protect it from distractions, and invest every minute with purpose proves you are the master of your life and personal power. Your most important practical action begins now. This week, pay attention to how you spend your time. At the end of each day, take a notebook and conduct a time audit. Note the 3 main activities that consumed your time and ask, did this bring me closer to my goal? Did I live this moment with purpose? Don't judge yourself, just observe. This practice is the foundation for developing true Stoic resilience and building a life that, in the end, you can say, was worth living. This is only the beginning of our journey to uncover the secrets of personal power. There are other thinkers and philosophies shaping reality, and I'm ready to dive deep into them. If you resonate with building an unshakable mind and using power strategically, tell me what the word time makes you think of. Share your perspective and join our community of success archaeologists.